Joining us now is American journalist and managing editor at Modern Age Journal, Arthur Bloom, and Greg Swenson, who's the chairman of Republicans Overseas. Thank you both for being with us on this anniversary of those Capitol Hill riots. So I just want to start with you, Arthur, and ask you, what type of legacy do you think these events have 1 year on?
Well, I think it's still very much unwritten. We don't have a good picture of what went down at certain points of this event. We're still kind of looking at kind of the involvement of provocateurs and things like that. I would say the definitive history of January 6th has not yet been written.
Okay, all right, Greg, I'll throw it over to you. I mean, look, the question is, I suppose, whether or not Donald Trump incited some kind of violence. Do you think he did?
Well, there's no doubt he made some mistakes, and I think if he had a chance to do it over again, he might have done some things differently. But he surely, look, you saw in the clip that you played before the segment that that he did say, protest peacefully and patriotically, and I think that's something that's been mentioned before. I don't think the Democrats care whether that's the fact or not. I think they're just going to try to weaponize this thing and make, obviously they're leaning on it quite a bit with the first anniversary here, but I think they'll continue to lean on it into the midterms. But yeah, I think there's no doubt the president made some mistakes, but inciting an insurrection, absolutely not. And I think it would be better if there was some perspective and some balance. And I totally agree with Arthur that, the story hasn't been written yet. We haven't even seen charges on most of the people that have been charged, and no one has been charged with insurrection under U.S. Code 2383.
Okay, well, Arthur, what do you make of the fact Joe Biden's obviously set to, I suppose commemorate might be the wrong word, but he's certainly set to mark this event with Congress later, and it's been reported he's set to deliver some words which will be very scathing towards Donald Trump. Do you think this is a mistake? Because a lot of people will be looking at that and saying, the more Joe Biden hates Trump, the more I love Trump almost. So it could actually garner more support for the president, the former president.
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible. This event, January 6th, is the incredible vanishing coup. First, it was an attempted coup. Then it was an insurrection. Now it's a riot. And it's probably going to diminish even further than that. But people like Joe Biden, people like the January 6th committee in Congress, which is a sham, by the way, there are basically no Republicans on it. There are technically two, but they're not really Republicans. They're going to wave the bloody shirt of January 6th till the cows come home. But there are a lot of Americans out there that don't really believe the story.
Well, I think fantastic you said there about it'll be a gathering next, won't it? Some kind. It'll be something like that. But Greg, yeah, I mean, look, do you think there's a lot of buyer's remorse now with Joe Biden? Do you think maybe a lot of those people who were deeply angry at what was initially a coup, an insurrection, are now looking at it and maybe going, actually, to be honest with you, I don't want Joe Biden in anyway?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely buyer's remorse. And a lot of those voters, especially independents, where he's polling, he's dropped, 20, 30 points with independents. It's been the biggest drop of any post-war president in terms of the change from election day until now. So, look, by creating this moral panic around January 6th, they stigmatized all Trump voters. And that's why it's a good point, that you brought up, that, this is just going to cause more people to reject Bidenomics, to reject the weaponization of January 6th, just like that they weaponized COVID. So there's all kinds of moving parts. But Patrick, absolutely, there's buyer's remorse. You can see the unbelievable drop in the polls, and also not just Biden overall and Kamala Harris overall, but also on just about every major issue that the polls are just dropping, and he's in the 20s and 30s on just about everything.
Yeah. Well, finally, I just want to put to you one last question, which is, if you had to put a figure on it, how likely do you think it is that former President Trump, will run again in 2024? And if he does, that he would win? Arthur, let's start with you.
Gosh, I would be hesitant to put any kind of probability on there. I think he's going to, at least if he doesn't run, he's going to make it look like he's running very, very close to, the time when he has to make a decision. He's going to drag it out as long as possible, because that's where his power comes from. His power over the party comes from the possibility that he might, come back in glory like that. And he's going to relish that, even if he's not actually going to follow through and run.
Okay, all right. Well, throw it over to you then, Greg. The percentage chance, I suppose, that Trump will have another pop at it and that he'll win.
Yeah, look, I think it's better than half that he will run again, and I don't think he'll run unless he knows he can win. But let me be clear: if the election was tomorrow, he would win. There is no doubt about it. Not only do I think he'd win the nomination, but again, if the election were tomorrow, he could easily beat Biden. I think Arthur and I could beat Joe Biden tomorrow. So that's not saying much, but I think I'm quite confident that he will either run or be a major influence on the election.
Absolutely. Now, look, both of you, thank you very much. Can I just stick with you, Greg? I know you're a very serious chap, so please, I hope this does not demean your stature whatsoever, but I can hear a dog in the background, and we are very much a dog-friendly station. Is there any chance we can have a quick look?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's down the hall. I'd have to open
okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
It's Fred and Ginger, and this is my last week of working at home. I can't wait till it's over.
Okay, last question. What type of dog are we talking?
They're the Cocker Spaniel Poodle combos. So, anyway, they're harmless, but they like to bark.
They like to bark, yes. You train them to go near Joe Biden, but there we go. Thank you very much, both of you, for taking the time. It was really, really great to have you on.
Happy New Year.
I have to come back soon. Yes, Happy New Year. That was Greg Swenson, of course, chairman of Republicans Overseas, and Arthur Bloom as well, of the Modern Age Journal.
Yes, really interesting there. Maybe the dog was getting very enthusiastic about the chance of Donald Trump running.
It was a peaceful march.
Yes, indeed.
Right.